Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about a completely fresh release from Miniart, and it comes in 1/35 scale. So here we have Sd.Kfz.234/2, it's so-called Puma, and even though this vehicle was short-lived and I would say it was participating in quite a few battles, but still it is an interesting subject to copy, and that's why Miniart decided to release it in both versions, and means that we are getting the interior kit and we are also getting the version without interior. And as you remember, I already reviewed the simpler, let's say, version without any internal parts. Today we are going to talk about this kit, which also houses the engine and battle compartment, basically the full interior out of the box, and the kit number is 35414. So the box size is approximately the same size as what was in the version without interior, so it's quite interesting why it is like this. And here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art which kind of hints on the main features. Here on the side you'll find also some information about the manufacturer, some safety devices, and if I flip it over to the opposite side, here we have also the short note that the decals are coming from Cartograph. And as for the markings, here we have 6 marking options. Of course we will talk more about them when we will be checking the assembly manual together. And now I think it's the time to open this box. It's a top opening box, just like any other release from Miniart. And I would say it's more of a tight packaging, and Miniart usually packs all of the frames into one plastic bag. As you can see, this kit is not an exclusion from this rule, so I would rather ask seller to pack it carefully, because otherwise you might end up with some not pleasant surprises in your package. And I mean, to be honest, my kits arrived via postal service, and as you can see they are more or less intact, and there was no visible damage or any other problems, so I think it's not such a serious issue as it might look like. Okay, so I can see that there is another plastic bag which is hidden inside of the one which I just opened. I guess it's the separation of the plastic parts between the interior version and non-interior version. But we have several more small plastic bags, so I will open them, and in the meantime I can remind you that you can help us with a small donation, and all of this money will be used in order to grow the YouTube channel, to get the better equipment, or maybe to get some interesting kits to be reviewed. So I'm really thankful for those of you who already donated, and believe me, even the small amount actually helps to update something on the channel. Okay, so here we start with the first clear plastic sprue. As you can see, this is one and only plastic sprue which was packed together with decals. That's the plastic bag I was opening. And here we have quite nice molding quality, so here I don't have any complaints. And usually Miniart does not pack any masks, and today they're also not in the kit. So that's why if you would like to have a nice paintwork on these parts, you will have to work with your own hands and tools. And as for the decals, again I remind you that they are coming from Cartograph. As you can see here we have all necessary symbols for 6 marking options, and the printing quality is really good, so if I bring it closer, camera will be able to focus, I hope, and you will be able to see what we actually get here and how those symbols are actually readable. It's not some mishmash and just to copy the actual symbols. Next we continue with the small envelope which features also the Miniart logo. So this type of thing is usually used for the P parts, and here we get this unpainted P thread. So as you can see we have the parts for the external holders of the jerry cans, for the antenna, also for various clamps. So it's quite nice, I would say, add-on, and you get it in the standard package, so it would be strange not to use it. Next we start with the first gray plastic sprue, and here I can see straight away the interior elements, so that's why I'm not sure. I guess the interior parts are actually not packed into the plastic bag or not. This is really strange. So we'll have to check the assembly manual as well. But here you can see some of the steering wheels. Also we have various parts which will go inside. I guess those are separate hatches. And all of this stuff looks really good out of the box. So as you can see, a lot of pre-molded features. And I think with due care, with some careful planning, you can also get a really nice paintwork. And why I'm saying the planning, because some of the parts, well, it's I would say, standard for interior kits, but some of the parts will be almost inaccessible once you install them. So it's better to plan how you would like to paint your kit, which parts should be painted in advance, so that later you won't have to fix it somehow trying to go through the parts. Next we continue with more internal parts. I guess those are the seats, and also we have various storage boxes. Again, if I zoom in onto the seat pads, as you can see, the surface details are quite convincing. Of course they will benefit from the paintwork as well, so if you would like to train your skills with the textile replication in 1/35 scale, this is a really good opportunity. And next we have the side panels. So those large side panels, as you remember from the previous video, they will go from the outside edges, and also here we have the separate hatches molded as a single piece parts. So this might be used for some diorama ideas, but I think it's really cool that actually all of those separate hatches are not pre-molded and can be opened on the vehicle. Next we have the sprue D, which is supplied in four pieces. So I will show you only one because well, those sprues are carrying the same parts, and as you can guess, those are the road wheels, and I think it's worth zooming in just to show you the surface details on those parts. So unlike some other brands, Miniart includes this interesting design of the wheels. As you can see, you have to combine all of these sections together, and then we have really good surface details on the tire walls. As for the tire pattern, as you can see, it's also being accounted for when you are combining these sections. So this is why I'm saying that it is a very smart design, and here inside we have the guiding elements, so it's not like you can misalign those parts, and everything is thought through and it should work together. And I saw some, I would say, results of the assembly on the previous kits with the same wheels design, and it looks really decent. Next, we have 3 plastic sprues with the jerry cans. Here I think we don't have anything surprising, it's just the typical jerry cans, but still thanks for Miniart to for the fact that they are included in the standard package. You don't have to buy anything separately. Next we have the connection between 3 sprues here, so I guess it's worth zooming in and checking each one of those. So as you can guess, we have the various radio equipment here which will go inside, also some storage boxes, and again the surface details are quite convincing, and I think with some reference materials it might be even better during the paint work, but this is already up to you whether you are able to source such material. And next we continue with the one of the biggest plastic sprues. So here, as you can guess, we get the hull panels. Those are lower section hull panels, and I don't think it will be difficult to combine them, but in my opinion the most important thing here is that those hatches are separate, so this might be handy in order to show the interior on the finished model, because otherwise it would be really strange to assemble the model and to close all the hatches. So basically interior will be just enclosed in the kit. But here we have a different story, and I think those modelers who are saying they don't want to assemble the interior because it won't be visible, well, they should think twice, because here it is possible to expose what is hidden inside. Okay, next I'm opening another plastic bag. You can hear it probably. That's the set of parts for the interior details, and we will start with the sprue M. So here we have the engine parts. Also we have some fuel tank parts. Well, basically all of the stuff which will go into the engine compartment. And if I zoom in closer, here you can see some parts for the engine block. In my opinion, all of these things, they look really great. And the only thing which you can add here is the wiring, because, well, just like any other brand here, the wiring is not included, even in form of PE parts. In my opinion, it's okay, because not that many modelers are actually brave enough to copy such features. Next we have 3 plastic sprues which are marked as a DA, so I'll show you only one, just like this. And why we have 3 of them, as you can guess, here we get the suspension parts, actually 4 of them. So suspension parts and the overall suspension sections will be really detailed here, and they are not movable obviously, but I think it's not difficult to adjust the position if you would like to have something different from what is let's say offered in the stock version, even though it would be really strange to try to, but maybe you would like to get it adjusted for some diorama ideas, so then it definitely makes sense. Next we continue with the turret parts. So the overall parts division is typical. As you can see, we have the top section molded as a one-piece part, which is really cool. And what I kind of missed or skipped on the previous review is this one-piece barrel, which is also nice, but I know that some of the professional modelers will be replacing it with the metal part. And here, by the way, the muzzle brake, which is also one-piece part. And from the inside you have various guiding elements for the interior pieces, so it's not like something is skipped over here. And top hull part, if you wonder, it is coming as a one-piece part of this shape, and it's really smart design in my opinion, because you don't have to worry about overall alignment. You get one-piece part which should be just installed onto the lower hull section. And here inside we also have some internal features. I guess there will have to be some drilling done, because this will be used for the various items which are specific for this version. And next we have quite wide plastic sprue, and I'm not sure where these parts will go. I mean, I can see here the Pioneer tools, I can see the machine gun, but also we have some stowage boxes here, so I guess all of this stuff will go outside. And next we have two identical plastic sprues which are marked as a CA. Here we have the again, some of the suspension parts and drivetrain parts, and also Pioneer tools here. And you can notice that the Pioneer tools, for example, the chowl which I was pointing at, it is actually molded together with the clamps. So the clamps are in place in the plastic. And last but not the least is this plastic sprue. So here I will have to zoom out a bit. So another wheel parts, and this is because there is also spare wheel on the rear section, so that's why Miniart includes it in this way. We also have various bulkheads and also some ammo storages and internal compartments. So all of this stuff provided in the standard package, and I think it's really cool because you will be able to install it on your Puma. And just to show you the opposite side, as you can see, these two large sections can be also combined together of the wheel. So basically you get a choice, either this version or this one for the spare wheel. And last but not the least is the assembly manual. So as you remember, usually Miniart prints this as a large cover printed brochures, and today's kit is featured or finished in the same style. So here you can see also some features of the model. Next we continue with the two marking options for this vehicle. Next we have the parts map. So as usual, Miniart does not show which parts are unused. And then we continue with assembly, so lower hull section. And here the main difference from the previous release which we reviewed together, here we start also working on the interior, and we also get some paint designations for the particular parts. So that's why I was saying you have to be careful on what you are doing. As you can see, Miniart also suggesting using some wirings in order to replicate the actual wiring on the vehicle. Obviously it is not supplied in the standard package, but you can copy it according to the Miniart suggestions. I do not see it on the engine though. Here we have also some suggestions. So this is really cool because it's up to you whether you would like to go this way, but you actually get some of the tips out of the box in the standard manual, so you don't have to search around. And the same goes for this top hull panel, so you can open the hatches as you remember. The same goes about these small hatches on the hull. Then we continue with the leaf springs and also the jerry cans and jerry can holders. What I was mentioned here is the comparison of the road wheel assembly, so you can use either of these versions. And here we continue also with some specific assembly options which are dependent on the marking option you will pick. So as you can see, the jerry cans or the stowage boxes on the hull. Here we start working on the turret, so again a lot of small parts. Pay attention to how they are going together, and I think it's worth opening all of the hatches on the turret, otherwise it will be a shame just to assemble it and close it. Even though here we have the vehicle depicted with all hatches closed. So this is the third marking option. Next we continue with the fourth and fifth. This one is quite interesting with this angular camouflage, and it's from 1945, which is also very, I would say, unusual. And here we have the green vehicle from Czechoslovakia, spring 1945. So also interesting camouflage because it combines the green and yellow colors. So overall, I think it's a great release for modelers who are brave enough to go for interior armor in 1/35 scale. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.